Sup, posters? This is going to be the start of my review for Griftlands, which I am going to have to do a playthrough just to show you it's back because it's a little bit complicated. I really hope you enjoy this video because I really like this game. This is one of my favourite games. Thank you for your time. Sup, posters? This is Pulse Beetle with Griftlands. Griftlands. Now, this is one of my favourite games. This is top 3. That's how good this game is. Now, what is this game? This is a roguelike battle card game. I'm going to turn the heartbeat music off while I talk to you because it's very off-putting. And I've never been on this screen, so I don't know where anything is. Right, there you go. Right. Yes. I have to remember to turn it back on when I actually play. Now, I've restarted this so I can remember bits and bobs because it's been a while since I played it. So I need to turn off any mods I've got on. I think I've got a couple on. Let's just unenable them. One of them gives you more cards. One of them gives you random ideas, which is all stuff I'm going to have to explain to you. And there's no point in me showing you how to play the game if I'm using mods now, is there? Yep, restart the game. Right. So let's start with the basic stuff. This is daily challenges. So you can go in here. Every time you begin one of the 3 main characters, 3 different characters, begin one of the random, and they will go through a run through the forest, basically. And you'll encounter different people as you go through. You'll have options like go left, go right. Left you hear sound of animals, right you hear a struggle in the bushes. Each one could be a different thing because you can come across people getting robbed, you can come across people who need help, you can come across abandoned crates that give you items and stuff. There's one achievement attached to this. I think you've got to do 10 challenges and you unlock an achievement, which is cool. Now let's have a look because there's 2 different ways of playing this. So I'm going to do a let's play, but I'm not going to do a normal let's play. I'm going to do a brawl run. The difference is there's a story one. You can do it on easy, normal, hard, or you can do it on story mode where it focuses more on the story than the actual combat. There are 7 levels of difficulties with that. There are 7 level difficulties with the brawl. Now the brawl skips the stories and it is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights and the 5th one is a boss. Then it goes into the next day, 5 fights, the last one is a boss. There's a mini boss halfway in between, just so you can get better rewards and stuff like that. So even though I've started again, I've still got quite a lot of progression. Now there's Sol. She is, I'll show you. This is the hunting thing. Let's skip, let's turn it off, just delete that. Right. This is her story. And this is with the story, but it's focused on more of the narrative. They have their own language in this. They kind of go, so they talk a lot more. Her story is she's after someone in the game, and that's the last fight you'll have. It's the person that she's after. So you spend days getting along to the point of where she's finding the person she's hunting down. And this is the brawl. This is my favourite thing on this. Not that these are not good, it's just that I completed them. Every time you complete them, you can put on a hard difficulty, like you can in Slay the Spire and Monster Train. You can get up to 25 levels in it. This, you can only get up to 7, but they are hard. Like they cut your health in half. They cut your arguments in half. And I will show you both of them when I'm playing a brawl. Because I'm not going to get into all that just now, because it is a long old thing. In this game, you get 2 decks. You get your main fighting deck, and you get your negotiation deck. So you can either go hostile with the argument, or you can try and persuade them. Either way, you have an energy attached to your arguments, and you have an energy attached to combat, which is your health. So both of them, you get a kind of health thing, except for if you lose the argument, there's a consequence. However, you don't die from losing the argument. You die from losing your health in a fight. So So say like there's a boss and they've got 3 bodyguards with them. You would go and argue with those bodyguards. You don't want to be in this fight. So if you succeed, you can weaken the boss. And this is also with people. You can convince them to do stuff by winning arguments with them. You can also convince people to help you in a fight. Because there are different types of feelings towards people. So we're going to pick Brawl. So I'll go into the perks. I'll show you, where's Battle Deck? Battle Deck, that's one. Now these are your starting basic ones. Now as you can see on them are these lines. That's their experience. So when they get to the end, they can have hit for free plus get defense. Or it could cause bleeding. Or it could cause combo. So that's one of her abilities is to use combo attacks or bleeding attacks. So she can make them bleed like every... You know how bleeding works in the game. You lose energy next turn. However, it's halved in this game, which is something I don't like. Combos is she can get an ability on certain cards that says deal 5 damage per combo on the person, or get a counter attack if you haven't. This person has combos on them and you hit them. So all these basic cards can evolve. These two rely on calling down other things. Now the one on the left, which is Hammer Grip, gives you combos. So deal 2 damage if you have any combos. If you don't have combos, you're not going to deal 2 damage. You'll deal between 1 and 2. Any combos gain 2 combos. So she's using that. So you need to put her towards either combo or bleeding. The other one is apply 2 bleeding. This one will call a whole group of cards down. If you right click on a card, it will tell you what they evolve into. So this has got to be used this many times. And when it gets to the top, she'll have a choice to evolve it into... so look, improve a card from a pool of special cards. That means grab a card out of a special deck that's not with her. And when it evolves, it still costs 1. You can improve a card from a pool of upgraded cards. This means they are all upgraded. They are better versions. Or you can improve a card from a pool of special cards. Now, the word improvise is very important because some of her cards, if you improvised a card this turn, all your hits do maximum damage, because a lot of their attacks and stuff like that do that does 1 and 2. The maximum's 2, but you can get out to like 20 and stuff like that. You can increase them. These are just your basic decks. You get cards that are a lot better, but as you're playing, according to how these evolve, it'll give you an idea of what you want to do. Because you can get Impair, which weakens the enemy's attack. You can get you can get one card that gives you Evasion, which means no matter how much damage the next card's going to hit you with, you can dodge 1 hit, which is really important. You can also on these you can get things like Destroy. So say you want to get this card out of your deck, you have an option to increase its attack or destroy it. You destroy it and it throws it out of the deck, which lessens your deck. And anyone who's played this kind of card games knows it's kind of good if you get rid of some of your starting cards like as soon as you can. You can also get it so like they always hit on 5, so they don't have to between 2 and 5. They always hit a 5. On here is a negotiation deck. Now, I will say these hostility ones, the red ones, are the most powerful. Because a lot of these rely on you having a persuasion point, and that will hit, instead of 1 to 3, always hit whatever the maximum is. So it'll always hit with a 3, as long as you have that in your argument. Whereas these are 1 to 4, when you upgrade them, you can upgrade them to a bit better. However, the persuasion that you need to do this can be killed. It's an arc. I know it sounds complicated, but I explain it when I do a run through. That's why I need to run through this so you can see what it is. Same as these. Add 3 composure to your argument. This is defense. Think of it like a shield. You can put that on an argument and you get the pick. So it will say some of them are random. Some of them say pick a random argument. So others will say pick a specific argument. And so you need to know where you're going to hit them, because if the little arguments are beaten, it will hit her main argument. Again, I'll explain this in game. It sounds complicated. It's not. Once you start getting used to it, the negotiation side of this game makes it a hell of a lot more fun. That's why it's one of my favourite roguelikes, because it's got that element, but the element is really fun because you can get some crazy combinations. These are your perks. So before every fight, you can pick a perk. As you progress throughout the game, you'll unlock them. You get points up here. You use these points to unlock these. So the ones that are bright green are the ones I've won battles with. I've won the full run with. But I do go from better to better to better. My advice when you first start out would be to pick not that one. Yeah, lower the max hit points needed for your basic cards. This means all your basic cards needs half the amount of experience to evolve. The reason why this is really good, especially when you're first learning the game, is because there's a timer in battle and negotiations. When that timer goes down, you cannot gain experience on them cards anymore. So it doesn't matter if you have another 50 turns or 2 turns, you're not getting any experience for them cards, no matter how many times you use them. Because what you should also be trying to do is use the cards in the way, like the cards with the least amount of experience, you want to use them more so that you can upgrade them. All cards are better when they're upgraded. And again, I'll explain this during the way. It's why I need to do a run to show what it is. Now, you get stuff like this. Gain maximum resolve when a new person loves you. People can love you or hate you. If you kill people in this, whoever's part of their clan or organisation, say like you kill a copper, other coppers will hate you and you'll get a negative in every single fight you come across. Plus, if you try to negotiate with those people, you'll automatically be a negative. However, there is a way around that. You can antagonize them to attack you, because whenever you're defending, there's no consequences because you're defending. Whereas if you attack someone, there's consequence. So if you attack someone and kill them, their friends are not going to like you. Whereas if they try to murder you because you're antagonizing them because they hate you, you can kill them and there's no real consequences. People just go, oh, okay, you just murdered someone. Cool. Which is nice. But there are a lot more other gadgets. Things like an extra pet. It's only if you understand pets or if you value them. I've had a few pets. They can come in handy. It all depends on the situation. Same as starting off with extra gold. You can have 1 power at the start of each battle. That may not seem much, but that's 1 extra point of damage on every card that you use to attack the enemy. Start your run with centerfire shields. That could come in really handy. Again, that's a basic perk, but when you're first starting out, every bit of gold helps. And when I said that some people hate you, they put a negative in a fight. If people love you, they put a positive in a fight. That's why I always get this one. A random person that likes you will love you because you haven't got to bribe them, because you can buy them drinks. Now, if you buy them drinks, 1, it costs you gold. 2, it puts negative cards in your deck. You get drunken cards. So if you keep buying people drinks, you have a lot of negative cards. And that adds to your negotiation deck and your battle deck, those negative cards. Same as if you eat food in this, you'll get negative cards. So you've kind of got to get them out. You also get items in this game, which again are cards, but they have a certain amount of uses. There are very rare ones that you can keep throughout your entire run, but most have certain amount of uses. So this is why I need a separate video showing you the actual game. One of the cool things in this, you can unlock different clothing, which other games you have to pay. Now, Soul is all about the bleed and combos, and this is her difficulty deck. As you can see on the right hand side, it says level 1, the griftland strikes back. This adds negative conditions to your run, your cards, and the more you put on, the more difficult it gets. But the only way to get to the next level is to complete it and complete it and complete it and complete it. Now, the brawl, this is the brawls one. You have 1 for brawl and you have 1 for the story. So you've got two sets of difficulties. But the story's pretty cool. You can play through it a few times, but I completed it quite a few times that I know everything's going to happen. So that's Sol. This is Rook. Rook. Oh, you can have yeah, look, I just deleted her one, but I've still got his one. Because you can have one for each up and running. They've got their own cards and difficulties and that. Now, Rook is very different from the lady we just looked at. He has an energy slot at the bottom with 4 energy blasts, right? So when you get something like charge, you need to spend one of those points to do 2 extra damage. He deals with burns and stuff like that. So he's a long-term effects, but all his revolve around that bottom gauge. He has 4 little energy cells at the bottom. So when I power up, it makes all these attacks more powerful. When you don't have them, there can be negative consequences. But he also has a thing with a coin. Every time he's in a negotiation, he will flip a coin. Now, see that instead of heads and tails, it's called heads and snails. You flip your coins. So if it's on snails for that one, all these cards get hostile cards get 1 more damage on your opponent, whereas these guys all have the green ones all have heads, deal maximum damage. So he always deal with 3. He hasn't got to get the argument that Sol's got to get. But the coins can do different things. You can have ones that do extra damage. You can have ones that increase chance of being heads, increase chance of it being tails. But that's his gimmick, is the coin thing. I'm not a big fan of the coin. I'm more of a fan of the fact he's got the energy cells at the bottom that he fights with. I quite like them. And again, you've got the composure. When you're doing a deck, you do need to decide whether you're going hostile or diplomacy, which are the green ones. You need to decide, because you will not be able to do both. And if you try and do both, you'll weaken your deck, because they get like limit breaks, which will say all hostile cards get this, or all diplomatic cards get this. That will affect your fighting style as well. So you need to go one or the other. Same as in their main deck, like Sol can go bleed or combo. She has to go bleed or combo. Doing both will get you killed. Same as him, like he needs to go burn or other things to charge powers, yeah. But he needs to pick. Now these purple cards, you can have in any deck, because these are neither hostile or diplomacy, but they can do some really, really cool things. There's one of them that's called bait. I don't think he's got it on this. So they help you draw cards. One of them's called bait. So instead of targeting his argument, they target the bait. So you're drawing it away. But you'll only get the purple cards in the negotiation deck. And he's got he's so rubbish. I haven't unlocked the 4th one. Yep. I'm gonna do it again later on. But that's all about Rook anyway. Now Smith, he is for me one of the most difficult ones to use. He is all about taking damage and drinking alcohol. So that insert hammer throw or bottle smash into your hand. So every time he takes one of these drinks, if you look at the right one, which is blue, that's one of the empty bottles that he's using. So every time he has a drink, he gets an empty bottle. And you can hold about, I think 9. To my stuff held at one time. When you use them, you get certain abilities. And you use them on your opponent, which makes him more powerful. He gets some really strong cards, but his whole thing is taking damage. His ability is to heal the damage that he's taken this turn. So it's his way of regenerating. See, like, take 3 damage. So you can get ones that are like heal all damage taken this turn, ×2, stuff like that. He's very complicated. I'd say the first 2 are easy. I'll say Sol's easy, Rook's medium, because he's got the coin flip and energy charge. But once you get used to him, he's actually really powerful, especially the fact that he can get burned and stuff like that. He is very hard to use because you're taking damage, and there's only certain things that you can use to actually heal him. It's called Moxie. But the others don't really get a lot of healing. Drink, take 2 damage. But when it says expel, it means it destroys that card. It doesn't mean it removes it from deck, because it's not in your deck in the first place. So one of them adrenaline. Gain 1 power. Anything that gives you power is really good in this game. Power adds to all your attack. Like I said, he's a lot more complicated. I've got all 5 smiths. So why don't I get rooks? But all their... That's a religious cult, that thing there. In this game, it's a religious thing. But they all have their own storyline, which is really cool. He's from a wealthy family. I ain't gonna tell you about his family and that, because it's gonna spoil it for you. You should really do the story missions. Like I said, I'm not gonna do the story one. I'm gonna do brawl because I like the brawl. So I'm gonna end this there. That will give you a rough idea. I'm gonna also do a couple of fights. So if I end my video there, I can jump straight into the fights. Right, so that's my rough eye review of Griftlands. Now I'm going to do a let's play so I can show you the negotiation deck and the battle deck, because it's a lot better doing it through showing you than explaining. It seems complicated. When I first played this game, I found it a little bit difficult to get to grips with the negotiation deck, because in no other roguelike have I experienced that negotiation deck mechanic, which is why I really like this game. The fact it's done something a little bit different. If they make a Griftlands 2, I'm all about that. The game itself could have been made longer, so I think you should have been able to use a spaceship and then have space battles. That would have been awesome. But that's what happens when game developers do not ask me my opinion. No, they all should do, but they don't. So the next video I'm uploading is going to be the brawl, which I'm going to do from the beginning to the end. Don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe a couple of hours long video. If it's over an hour, I'm going to cut it into hour segments, just so that it's a lot easier to upload. I'm not very good at the old editing that yet. So I will see you then. Thank you for watching my review. This has been Pulse Beetle. I'll give this 100 angels out of 20 devils. Thank you for your time. Keep the pulse. And remember, don't murder people.